What's up, y'all? My name is Jordan.
And I'm Juanita.
And this is Love Does Cost a Thing.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming back to the channel for a brand new episode. And we getting ready to get into a fire conversation. But before we do, you already know if you're here, you're family. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button below. Ring the bell. So that you can stay in the loop with all things Love Does Cost a Thing.
Yeah.
And also shout out to our sponsor, Unashamed Apparel.
Yeah.
We wear what we believe. And they've partnered with us. They've been rocking out for a long time.
Yeah.
They're going to give you a 10% discount. You can use the code LDCAT. It's right down in the description.
Yes.
And you'll be able to get 10% off on your entire order. So don't wait. Rack up on that good old Unashamed Apparel today.
Okay. All right, guys. So I'm going to jump in because usually...
Shorty is hype.
Yes, because usually Jordan...
Go ahead.
Usually Jordan's always like, all right, guys, here's the topic. I'm going to ask Juanita. And now Juanita has the topic, and I'm going to ask Jordan so I can have some time to think.
That's crazy.
All right, Jordan.
I think we got to call it the hot seat.
All right, cool. I'm going to put Jordan in the hot seat. Okay. So, all right, Jordan, are we still talking to the singles? We're really talking to everybody at this point.
Because...
But it's everybody, because remember, we're in this season of, like, love.
But even still, because people that's together still do this stuff today, too.
Well, that's why I said we're not going to limit it to the singles.
Sure.
So this episode is for our singles, people that are in love.
Everybody.
People that are dating, in relationship, in engagement, married, all of those great things. Okay?
Everybody.
Now.
Go ahead.
We're going to brace you. Okay? This topic is one that's pretty controversial.
Very.
Okay?
And a lot of y'all are not going to... Just not gonna like the responses.
So we'll see how it goes. Okay. All right, Jordan.
Wait, can we ask for donations first before we tell them? We forgot to do that. If you want to donate to Love Does Cost a Thing, we would greatly appreciate any financial support that you have. If it's $1, if it's $100, if it's $1,000, whatever. Like,
man.
You know, you can donate to us if you believe in what we do. If you see the value in what we do. There is a Cash App link in the description to where you can donate to Love Does Cost a Thing. All right, let's go. Hot seat question.
Okay, so everybody wants to know, Jordan, male, female. Should I check my partner's phone? And to add on, should I have all of my partner's passwords?
All right, first question.
And take it easy on the people. Just ease them into it.
Ease them into it?
Ease them in there.
Don't just floor it. Don't put the pedal to the metal. Y'all not ready. Y'all not ready.
What say you?
All right, what say you? Okay. The first question is what? Should you?
Yeah. Like, is it okay to be able to check my significant other's or partner or spouse's phone? Or email or DMs.
I'm going to start off by playing Angel's Advocate. Okay. Because the question is technically, should you? Right? Should you be able to? Is that what you're asking? Should you be able to? Sure. Because, you know, anything can happen. There could be an emergency.
Yeah.
Whatever. But in the context in which many of you be checking them phones, y'all doing a lot for a little bit. Y'all got to chill out. You got to relax. You got to relax.
In love. Yes.
You got to relax. Look at her keeping me grounded. You got to relax, man. Listen, you're not going to tell on yourself, but I know your business, okay? Now, here's the reason why, right? When you make it a habit of, let's say it like this, like sneaking to check your partner's phone, right? Like you may feel justified to do so. Y'all may have had a rough patch or some bumps in the road.
Yeah,
I get it. I understand why you feel like you're justified to do so. But I would say, especially if you guys had a rough patch and you feel like you're checking his or, sorry ladies, you checking his phone. Or you're checking her phone because of what happened before, I would say that may be an indicator for you to take a step back and really do some soul searching. Because if you guys are trying to recover from whatever happened, you are going to have to learn to trust again. You're going to have to learn how to trust again. And It is not trust if you are doing it like on a sneak tip.
Right, like it's not trust if you have to check behind that person.
No.
That defeats the purpose of trusting.
You can check, but there's a way that you can check.
Fair.
Here's what I
mean.
Here's what I mean, though. You can check. You can have. You can check in, but you need to be forthcoming about it. You need to be like honest about if you are uneasy or unsettled about what your partner is doing, ask them.
Okay. Yeah. Oh,
ask
yeah.
them.
Absolutely.
Ask them.
Yeah.
Have the conversation.
Yeah.
Don't just go invade their privacy. You're not their parent.
Yeah, that's good.
And here's the thing. If they're going to do something, they're going to do it whether you check it or not. Is that too hard?
No.
Is that too hard?
No, I mean, it's the truth.
They're going to do something whether you check it or not.
Yeah.
And you have to ask yourself, why are you checking? Because let's say you actually do find something. What you going to do? What are you going to do? Mm-hmm. What are you going to do if you find something?
Yeah, like what does it change? What would happen as a result?
No, what decision are you going to make?
Oh, okay.
Are you going to continue? Are you going to bring it up to him? Are you going to bring it up to her to have a conversation? Or are you going to, start a fire or start an argument, right? Or try to get back at them for revenge, right? So what benefit does that bring you? Mm-hmm. So should you? It depends on the circumstance, but in the context of what many people check phones for, that's a red flag. And you may think, oh, well, I'm faithful, he's cheating, or I'm faithful and she's cheating, whatever. Like they're doing the wrong thing, but you are also in the wrong by doing it in that way.
That's good.
You're also in the wrong by doing it in that way.
Yeah.
If you guys want to build a healthy relationship, especially after something has happened, y'all have to have some real candid conversations.
Yes.
I don't mean disrespectful, but I mean candid.
Yeah.
Like if you guys had a rough patch, right? I keep using that word. If there was some sort of infidelity or whatever, and you are uneasy or you don't sense a real change in heart, then you got to make a decision of whether or not you're going to stay with that person.
Yeah.
If you don't see any change, if you don't see any fruit, if you don't see any differences, then you got to make a decision. Yeah. Why are you checking their phone? What is it going to lead to? It's probably going to lead to something like if you find... Okay, I'm struggling. You got to help me a little bit. Let's say they check the phone, right? And they don't find nothing.
Right.
Are you gonna go tell on yourself? Are you gonna go tell him that you checked his phone? You probably won't because you know how he's gonna respond. Or you probably won't because you know how she's gonna respond. So that lets you know right there that you probably shouldn't be doing it. A better way, a more healthy way is to just put it all on the table. Hey, I'm feeling uneasy. I'm trying to work past this rough patch that we had, but my mind is getting to me.
Yeah.
And if your person is committed to you as they say they are going to step up to the plate and be willing to console you and be willing to reassure you, right? Don't hold them hostage. Trust them. Take the risk if you see the fruit. Take the risk if you see the evidence of a change in heart.
Yeah.
So technically... Should you be able to, like, we have each other's passwords, but literally for emergency purposes, we don't have secrets.
Yeah.
It's taken us a long time to get to this point. Like we didn't just start off 11 years ago.
Yeah.
Like this.
Yeah, similar mindsets as you guys.
Yeah.
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 Until we started to learn and grow and see.
And take the risk to trust.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. Here's the thing, right? Let's say, you're dating and then you get married. You think that all of your apprehensions are going to just go away because you got a ring on your finger. They not. They not.
Yeah.
They are not. Excuse me. That's better English. And so you have to learn how to deal with those things. Checking the phone to try and find something. If you have a suspicion or inclination, or maybe you prophetic, you didn't had a dream, just go have a conversation.
Yeah.
Just go have a conversation, because what that's going to do, let's say if either way, having a candid conversation is going to yield a better result. Okay. Let's say that there actually is something going on, right? Y'all have a conversation. Now it's like either we're going to figure out how to make it work, or we're going to part ways.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say you have a conversation and then nothing happens, right? You don't now have to have the guilt of going behind your partner's back.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I've been rapping. Jump in there.
Yeah, so it just makes me think about a couple of things. One of the first things that you said made me think about this idea that if you feel like you have to like check in or check like your partner's phone or whatever the case may be after, you guys having maybe, a rough time or some type of infidelity happen, I would challenge your thought process of, are you really in the process to like move forward? I would challenge your thought around that, because if you really are committed, then a part of being committed means that you're doing the work to trust your partner.
Come on, girl.
And so I would say that if you feel like that's your default, that you're falling kind of back into that category, I would just remind, like if it was me, I would just remind myself of the promise or the idea or the goal, the end goal, right? Of like, let's say we had something in our relationship and we know we're trying to work through it to get to a better space. I would continue to remind myself of that whenever those thoughts kind of creep up. So that was the first thought that came to mind. The second idea that I thought about is this, like, we live in a society that is like, you've heard it before, like a microwave society, where we want things quick, fast, easy, but we know that due to research, those types of things don't necessarily last longer, and they're not necessarily like healthy for us.
Sure.
Versus like kind of that oven mentality of something being cooked over a long period of time.
That's a fire analogy.
And so this idea this idea of checking your partner's phone or checking their messages is that microwave idea. Like, you're just trying to hurry up and get it done, right? Like, you're just trying to...
That was fire. I'm sorry, because I didn't see where you was going with that. That was a sharp left turn. That was good. Give me 5,
okay.
Yo.
Yeah, so it's just that idea that you're trying to get that answer quick, right? And you're trying to cut corners. But, like, you don't need to cut corners, right? Because... I'm trying to focus.
I'm sorry. Yo, it's like, of course, I'm sorry. Don't lose your thought. It's my wife, but I'm just a communicator. So when I see that stuff blending and weaving together, it do something to me. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, you're just trying to cut those corners, and that idea of like, well, I'm trying to get a result. It's like, but you don't go about it that way, which is what you were saying.
I don't even need to talk no more. Just let Juanita do the show by herself.
Jordan, I'm trying to focus.
I'm sorry, but that was fire.
Well, praise God. That was the Lord.
No, but seriously, because you try to put a Thanksgiving turkey in the microwave.
Yeah, because think about it,
it's
like,
not gonna work.
Because think about it, like, most of the time the work is done here. Like, most of like what we experience is here, right? Like, when we start to think about things, we create narratives in our brain.
Can I jump in right there too? And this is exactly what I was thinking about. Because you're so focused on what you think is their problem, you going about it in a certain way is actually an indication of your own problem. That's something you got to deal with. That's something that you got to look at the man or the woman in the mirror and check that joker. Because
it's really like, what's your apprehension in bringing it up? So, like, some people may say, like, well, you don't want them to get upset. You don't want them to get offended, right? Or maybe you don't know or trust that they'll tell you the truth. So, like, again, you'll cut those corners. I'm just going to get it for myself because I can't trust.
Yeah.
Going back to that word trust, I can't trust that you're going to be forthcoming. I can't trust that you're going to tell me the truth. I can't trust that you're going to give it to me the way that I want you to give it to me. And so here, what we're saying now is that when you say to yourself, I'm committed to this process of moving forward, I'm committed to making something healthy, you have to relinquish that control. You're not going to be able to control your spouse's response. You're not going to be able to control their delivery. You don't have any control over that. So let's sit in that for a moment.
That was too good.
Because all of us can admit that we feel comfort and control, right? That's why you go and check their phone. Because you want a sense of control. You want to navigate how this thing is going to play out. But guess what? You don't have the control. But you can put your faith in the one that does. almighty, all powerful, the Lord himself, right? Again, going back to this idea that if you put your trust in God, you can put your trust in God enough to trust that person. The Lord can handle those feelings that you have. The Lord can handle those apprehensions that you have. And maybe you aren't able to trust your spouse because they violated that trust. And that's okay. But if you say, and your partner says that you two are working and you're committed to moving forward, you have to take a step.
Yeah.
And a part of taking that step, again, relinquishing that control and putting your faith in the one who won't turn their back on you, who won't leave you, who will always be there for you, who will literally carry you through it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even want to talk. Yo,
but I did want to say though, like on the other side, like I know that we're talking about the people that check the phone, but I also want to talk about the people that we're just spending this time in infidelity, because I just feel like that's what a lot of this stems from. It's not always infidelity, but it could be infidelity not even in your current relationship, but in past relationships that you're then bringing into your current one. But if you are the person that had the infidelity, you were the person that cheated, you were the person that broke that trust, regardless of what it is. You may not have fully went outside of your relationship. Maybe you were entertaining somebody a little too far. Any of those things that fall under that umbrella. I encourage you to, one, check in with yourself, to be honest, to be open, to be aware that your partner has the right to question you.
Yes, they do. Absolutely.
To not try to manipulate it and put it in your control and spin it and say, well, you don't trust me because I'm working hard. You said you're going to trust me. And guess what? Just like you want them to give you grace because you violated them, you need to also give them grace.
Yeah, because they just had open heart surgery for something that they didn't even know was there.
That's so good.
They just had a major accident that they weren't planning for. They just got caught off guard.
Yeah. And so, while they love you they're committed,
they hurt.
You have to like, people always understand this idea of grief only with like a loss of a person, meaning like, going to heaven or going, beyond this world. But like grief is any type of loss. So like when you have a relationship that you are like, okay, this is my mindset, this is how we are, everything is set up, and then something happens and it destroys that picture,
that's a funeral.
That's a loss. They're grieving. And so you're not going to tell a person that lost someone close to them get over it.
That's crazy.
Right? But you also know that grief, just like anything else, has a time period. Right? Or maybe not time period, but like it has a season is what I'll say. And in that grieving, because it's not necessarily like
I get what you're saying.
It's 3 weeks long, or but like, so you have to trust the process, right? You have to own what you did, and you have to be forthcoming. So when that partner says, hey, I saw you talk to that person, who is it? Don't say, oh, now you think I'm always talking to somebody because I had this conversation. Say, okay, this is that person. And watch how your partner responds and be like, and then watch over time how less questions are asked. How there's less conversation about things you're doing outside because you're proving yourself. Your partner's able to see that fruit that you've changed. Your partner's able to see that you're being forthcoming, that you're willing, that you're open. And that's all that they're asking for. We're not asking you to relive what you've done. They also don't want to relive it. But at the same time, it was done. And so you do need to admit that you have caused something that's not just going to go away overnight.
Let me jump in there. For in the context of what Juanita's saying, for the one who perhaps was at fault, you don't have any right to manipulate. None. You have no say. You have no say, especially when I mean, in whatever situation, whether you tell on yourself or whether you get caught, if you are going to still try to make it work with this person, you got to be willing to do whatever it takes. And so you got to put your pride all the way to the side, take it way off the table, and you're going to have to assure or reassure your person, especially if you can see that they are, still wounded, especially if you can see, if you can sense, if you, have quarrels and interactions where you know it's because of what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's justified or not, you, my friend, were the cause. And so I'm not saying that you have to be held hostage or put in jail, but you do have to take the brunt of the responsibility, especially on the front end, because it was because of you.
Yeah. And I just wanted to deal with this, and we're going to have to end, so we're not going to really get too deep, so we might need a part 2 to this. But I just wanted to
We're already out in the ocean, shorty.
I just want to speak to this idea of when infidelity happens, that truthful conversation of maybe not necessarily why it happened, but how do we want to move forward? And what I mean by that is sometimes people in the society that we live in will say, oh, I cheated and I can't help myself. And they then open that avenue. And because you're that partner and you love them, you open that avenue with them, that door with them to explore other options. We're just going to leave it right there. Explore other options.
What you talking about? Explore other options. No, say it. More than one. That's crazy work.
Or inviting people into that sacred space. That's
crazy work.
It's not of the Lord.
No. Let's not even make it about
fair.
Let's not even make it about that.
Research proves that we cannot multitask. Research proves that. So if anyone tells you that they are able to navigate multiple relationships, it's not true.
Crazy work. Now here's the thing.
Not true.
Here's the thing. I'm not even talking about like. I'm sorry. Let me not go off on it. I'm not sorry, but I was about to go off on a tangent.
Yeah, we just want them to be able to hear you. Yeah.
Sure. Here's what I mean. When I say that's crazy work. You think that's going to solve the problem? You think that's going to solve the problem? Genuinely asking you, having more than one, do you think that's going to solve the issue, or do you think it's going to
satisfy a craving?
No. Well, yes, obviously, yes. But do you think it's going to solve the problem, or do you think it's going to make what the problem is bigger?
Right.
If you're upset,
it's gonna make it worse.
If you're upset that they stepped out on you, what makes you think agreeing to another person is going to make you feel better?
Well, I think I get what you're saying, and I'm in agreement with you. I just want to speak to the feelings of people, because I think that oftentimes
reel me back
when we are in our feelings and we love somebody, and it's not even quite desperate. It's just that like you care enough about people that sometimes people do things that they wouldn't do sober-minded.
Fair.
And I think that a lot of the times we only think of being under the influence as like smoking or drinking, but you can be under the influence
is a drug, baby.
Of your emotions and being deep into it and knowing that you love somebody. Unfortunately, sometimes people can take advantage of that.
Absolutely.
They can be manipulative and say, hey, listen, I'm never ever going to be able to commit to somebody. So if you want me, this is what you have to take.
Don't do it.
And sometimes being in loved or focused on that person, thinking that person is the one for you, you might end up doing those things. And so what we want to just share with you today, whatever situation you're in, whether you are dating, whether you're in a relationship, whether you're engaged, whether you're married, you do not have to settle.
And let me tell you plainly, you should not settle.
Yeah.
You should not settle.
Because the one that God has for you is for you. It doesn't mean that it's going to come to you perfectly. It doesn't mean that they're going to come all wrapped in, this pretty bow and everything is just going to work out perfectly. But what it does mean is that you have the right to choose something different.
Yeah. Let me say this and then we can wrap it up.
Yeah.
Love is a choice.
Yeah.
And you all should always choose each other.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. That's it.
Just choose each other. If there's another choice in the mix, then personally, I'm questioning if whether or not this is the true essence of what love is and what you deserve.
Yeah.
You deserve to experience true love.
Yeah.
Don't settle for anything less.
Yeah. That's good. We're going to stop it there, but I am interested to hear what you guys have to say. So please make sure to drop a comment. Let us know. What are you thinking?
I think we struck a nerve with the polygamy thing. Somebody's going to catch fire to that and probably do like a reaction video, but we all for it. I want all the smoke.
Okay, but we can have another, I think, video in the future continuing to talk about this idea of polygamy, and not even just that, but how do you navigate relationships in a healthy way, such as bringing up these tough conversations without kind of going behind your spouse's back and things like that. So
that's good.
But
let me also say too, if you guys have questions and you want us to answer in one of our upcoming videos,
we can have like a little question segment. We won't tell your name or your business.
Yeah.
But what we will do is we're going to make sure that you come back and check out the video so that you can actually get your question.
Unless you want a shout out, unless you want us to tell
Just let us know what you want from us. But yeah, man, we keep getting DMs from people, okay, with questions. And so like, we love that for you. Ask us the questions, okay? So we're trying to funnel those things so that we have them in that one place so that we can kind of reference them so nobody gets lost in the triple DMs that we have going on. But yeah, anyway, like, comment, subscribe, donate.
Run them numbers
say,
up.
Hey, how you doing? Share.
Yes, most important.
Share.
Yes.
Share.
I'm not telling you to subtweet and send this to your partner. I ain't telling you to do that, but just
send
saying,
it to your partner. Have a conversation.
What you doing on Thursday? Let's watch this.
Let's do a little date night. We actually do that. It's called Marriage PD.
Yeah.
So like we'll watch.
Stand for?
Professional development.
I don't know if they know.
Or professional learning, you know, if you're new in education.
Right.
But like, yeah, we like to do that. We just, watch different podcast people that we feel like have a fruit in their marriage that we are looking for, things and skills that we want to like grow in, areas that we want to grow in. And so we'll watch it together. We'll talk about it. We'll see kind of like what we want to do and apply in our life.
If we could, in time, get some of the people that we listen to on the show.
Oh, that'll be nice.
That's actually a vision that I have. I'm not even going to drop no names. We just going to pop up one day with them as guests on our show.
All right. One more thing. We just wanted to say thank you.
Thank you.
We've been getting lots of love from you guys. Like in the comments, y'all been texting us. Y'all been DMing us.
It feels so good.
Like, no, like seriously, because this ain't easy work. And it's difficult to be in this vulnerable spot. But I just want you guys to know that we see you.
And we appreciate you.
We're grateful for you. We are literally praying for you. So please know that like, it's not like we see you and we're grateful for you, and it's really helping to build the vision that we believe God has given us. So thank you.
Thank you.
Because you could have kept it to yourself, but you decided to share it. So thanks.
You're so kind.
All right, guys. We love you guys, and we'll check you out on the next episode. Peace.